Welcome to the deep dive. So, you've been curious about artificial intelligence and how it's really changing the games we play. We've looked at some really interesting stuff out there to explore that, from actually building the virtual worlds to shaping our own experiences within them. Let's dig in.
Yeah, exactly. It's way beyond just making enemies a bit smarter now. AI is like becoming this really core part of the whole process, creative, functional, everything.
Okay, right. Let's jump straight into it then. How is AI actually used to, create these massive game worlds we see?
Well, a lot of it is through something called procedural content generation,
Mm.
PCG. Think of it like AI following a really detailed blueprint to automatically build stuff, landscapes, cities, and
Wow.
even whole galaxies sometimes.
Okay.
And this gives you amazing replayability, right? Because it's less likely you'll see the exact same layout twice. Plus, it lets developers build these huge-scale games more, well, efficiently.
So the AI is kind of like a super powered level designer in a way.
Yeah, you could say that, a very fast one. And it's not just the places, the environments. AI is also really changing non-player characters, NPCs.
Ah, the characters walking around.
Right. Instead of just like following really simple pre-written scripts,
Hmm.
AI lets them react more believably to you, to what's happening around them in the game. It makes interactions feel much more alive,
Yeah,
dynamic.
that totally makes sense. It makes the world feel less static, more real. Now, I've also heard that AI can actually change the game while we're playing it. How does that work? Is that common?
Yeah, that's a really interesting area. It's a dynamic adaptation. Basically, the AI can analyze how you're playing, like in real time.
Okay.
So if you're finding it tough, it might subtly tweak the difficulty down. Or if you're, breezing
It
through,
makes it harder.
it could, yeah. Or throw in new challenges, maybe even adjust the story path a little. It's all about trying to create a more um, personalized and engaging experience for you.
That's actually really clever. It keeps you right in that sweet spot, maybe. Not too bored, not too frustrated. Okay, so beyond the cool flashy stuff, does AI help with the background work? The less glamorous side of making games.
Oh, absolutely. Hugely important there. Debugging and balancing, for instance.
Right. Finding the glitches.
Exactly. And AI can run through countless test scenarios automatically. It can spot weird bugs maybe human testers would miss. And it's great for game balancing, making sure the difficulty curve feels right, that things are fair.
Ah,
It leads to a much more polished final game.
makes sense. Less crashing, hopefully. We talked about levels, but I think you mentioned AI can create other things too, other assets.
That's right. Yeah, that procedural generation idea. It's not just for maps. It can be used for textures on objects, making things look unique, or even generating music that changes based on what's happening.
Adaptive music, right.
And sometimes even basic story stuff like generating side quests or dialogue options. It can really speed things up for the developers.
Yeah.
Opens doors creatively too.
And thinking about VR and AR,
Hmm.
virtual and augmented reality, that seems like a place AI would fit right in.
Definitely.
Okay.
In VR and AR, immersion is key, right?
Yep.
So AI can power virtual characters that feel more there, more responsive to you, and it can help make the environments themselves more adaptive, reacting to where you look or what you touch. It just deepens that feeling of presence.
Okay, this all sounds technically amazing, but here's the big question for me. Does it actually make games more fun? Can an AI, like an algorithm, really understand what makes something enjoyable or compelling?
That is, yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Look, AI can create complexity, novelty, huge scale.
Yeah.
But real fun often comes from, those unexpected moments, emergent stuff, things the designers maybe didn't even predict.
Right, when things go off script in a cool way.
Exactly. So the challenge is using AI not just for efficiency or complexity, but in ways that actually encourage those kinds of surprising, delightful experiences. It's a balance. You don't want something that feels too predictable, too. Algorithmic, maybe.
Yeah. Finding that sweet spot again. Makes sense. What about stories? Narrative in games, how's AI changing that?
We're seeing some really cool stuff there. Think dynamic dialogue systems.
Hmm.
Instead of just clicking through fixed options, AI can help conversations branch in much more complex, natural ways based on your previous choices, maybe even your play style.
So conversations feel less canned.
Hopefully, yeah. And AI can also influence bigger branding storylines, give you a real sense that your actions matter, making each playthrough feel different.
Briefly, are there ethical things to think about here? Concerns?
Yeah, definitely things developers are grappling with, issues
Uh-uh.
around fairness, potential biases programmed into AI behavior, and the bigger question about AI's impact on human creativity and game design itself. It's an ongoing discussion.
Okay. Looking way ahead then. Could an AI ever just design a whole game, start to finish?
It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
right now, no, but AI is learning incredibly fast. Its ability to handle complex tasks, even creative ones, is growing all the time. So while we're not there yet, the potential for AI to take on much larger design roles in the future, yeah, it's definitely something people are thinking about. It could really change the industry.
So, summing up then, it's pretty clear AI isn't just a minor tweak. It's fundamentally reshaping things from the ground up, building worlds to the characters we meet, the stories we're told, even how the game itself gets made and tested. It's everywhere.
Absolutely. And maybe the really interesting thing for you to think about is this. As AI gets more and more woven into the fabric of the games we play,
Mhm.
how is that going to change how we even define creativity in art and gaming? What does it mean for the role of the human designer when AI can do so much? That's
Mhm.
something to really chew on.